explode up. Oh, you didn't. Ah. You're gonna leave me hanging.
You know, we practiced that, ladies and gentlemen, and the cheese just does not go away. It's really bad. We're doing this again.
Yes.
We are doing this again, Mr. Rubin.
C stands for cheese. That's right.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We will stop that immediately. We have a great show for you tonight. We have some special guests, as always. We have the SunTrust Bank here. Everybody. We have ESCO. Exotic Metal. They've done some very interesting things with their technology. It's not easy finding people that really understand what we can do with this technology within our industry. It's not easy at all.
It's definitely not, and not easy finding strangers.
No, I sent Ruben on a mission, as we did last year. Again, it takes a lot of work. We sent him out to the furthest reaches of our country.
What our gas budget would allow.
That's right. Where did we end up this year?
2.5 blocks north of the main office.
Very good. Very good, very good. Let's go ahead and cut to the tape. Let's see what we have here.
Here we are again for Street Smarts 2011. Down at Art Walk in Olympia, Washington, asking some more questions about ECM. What comes to mind when you hear the phrase document capture?
Document capture? Probably something having to do with schoolwork.
To grab, to hold, to bring close.
Capture, to take by force and confine, right? Capture?
You can play capture the flag.
And capturing a photo? I don't know. I'm in college. I should have like good answer for this, but
to like take a picture get a picture.
You capture it on camera.
Yeah, capture something on camera or something.
I don't know. It's like a verb, right?
To enclose, to embrace.
What does capture mean to you?
Capture?
Getting the image of something in your head.
What do you think about when you hear the phrase metadata?
Metadata. So that would be data that's about other data. And the farther out the data goes, the more it tells you, but also the less it tells you.
So what is metadata?
Metadating.
Metadating or metadata?
Metadata?
It sounds like.
Are you talking about like mini data or something?
Metadata.
Metadata. A whole lot of data. A whole lot of data. Oh, medical data. That's it.
How about metadating?
Metadating. Ooh.
I've met her dating.
Metadata?
Metadata, like Medicare data? I can't even say it now.
Data that thinks about data.
What does metadata mean?
Oh, I know that. It's large. I do. We do it with GUI duck, if you can imagine.
That's the data that puts you to sleep.
What is mobile capture?
Mobile capture? Capture on the run?
Mobile? I thought it's all mobile now. We're in the 21st century. Everything's mobile.
Something to do with, you know, using your nerd machine.
If I give you mobile capture technology, what would you do?
More will capture? Is that what you said?
What would you do with mobile capture technology?
Go to bed and have a lot of fun.
When was the last time you did some indexing?
I don't know what that is, so never.
You may have, you just don't know what it is.
That's another possibility, yeah.
When's the last time you did any indexing?
Thursday? Was it Thursday? I'm sorry.
I wasn't part of that Thursday, that's for sure.
Wow. I let my fingers do the walking, but I didn't know what indexing is.
Indexing?
How about what is validation?
What is validation? You're asking an attorney that?
Holy smokes.
He's a husband, he's never been validated.
Never.
Right.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, yes, you have.
No, I'm waiting.
Here, let me do it.
Trust me, I'm waiting.
I had my parking ticket validated today, so I've been validated.
You can't use it.
Oh.
You can't describe it with the same word. So how are you
Who's making up the rules here?
And this tune is the national anthem of the Save the Unicorn Society, and it's called Stardust, and it goes like this.
Are you a teacher by chance?
Yes.
It's nice when you park and then you don't have to pay because they validate.
Excellent.
It's a great system. I like that system. It's very nice.
So that's validation that the ocarina is totally awesome.
Wow. Okay, so take by force and confine.
A lot of interesting people in Olympia.
Where did you find this guy? Did you pull him from a van?
Nope, that's just your average free-range Olympian.
That's just how you roll out here, huh?
Yeah,
I like that. I like it. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to our sponsor, National Save the Unicorn Society is what it was.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
Round
saving
of
the
applause.
unicorn.
All right.
Yeah. I believe that little whistle was 100% unicorn horn. Could be part of their problem.
Okay, that's got to stop.
That's sorry.
Ruben, it looks like you had a lot of fun out there.
Yes.
Everybody, did we have a lot of fun out there? All right, all right. Ruben, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you don't mind, but I did take the liberty to take care of a couple of my to-dos. I did my emails, a couple of my inbox items, but I have yet to do my thank you notes. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and take this selfish moment to knock that out. Is that okay? Thank you notes? Okay, okay. Music, please, can I get some thank you note music? Thank you, over-specialized industry, for giving me the chance to describe what I do, but when I do so, my peers look at me like this. That was good. I like that one. Thank you, IBM Watson, for reminding me of my lack of intelligence and, as a result, crushing my dreams of ever being on Jeopardy. That was a joke. Thank you, mobile technology, for allowing me to work from home. Social events, vacation, dinner dates, the ski slopes, my son's soccer game, and the throne. I love work. Thank you, IT, for representing 50% of the four-letter word I often use when I need you. Oh, we're not done yet. Thank you, indecisiveness. No, I'm not going to do that one. Yeah, I will. No, I'm not. Thank you, Cloud, for giving everyone something they can obsess about. Very much like Justin Bieber's hair. And well, also for being a cloud. Thank you. I feel so much better. Don't you? Don't forget to thank the things that you appreciate in life, guys. This is great, but let's get serious here. Let's bring out our guests. Moving on to the next segment of the show. Who do we have? We have none other than Mr. Wayne Gross at SunTrust Bank. Let's bring him out. Round of applause.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Mr. Gross, thank you for joining us. Why don't we start off with telling us, what is your title?
My official title on the business card is ECM Architecture Practice Lead.
And what do you do with the organization?
Very nice title. But what we really do is we represent architecture, the whole beginning of the process of how do we get that information from the business users, the BAs, and then mold all of that into a real solution that we can take then back to our delivery partners, our team that's going to actually have the task of building and implementing. So we bridge that gap of the initial design.
Well, let me first start off with, I think it's very innovative for an organization like SunTrust Bank to first of all create a position with ECM as the centerpiece, and as a result putting some vision into the equation. And that's my opinion.
Right.
I think that's great. So you've done some very interesting things. The word standardization, I think, has come up in previous discussions. Right. I know that you've had multiple tools out there in the past, and now we're moving to consolidate that. You want to talk to me about that?
Right. We've really made a lot of progress. I've been at SunTrust for 14 years, where we started where every little individual organization had their own ECM component, their little silo, everybody raises their hand.
Why would you do that?
It's the way life was done 14 years ago. But as ECM becomes much more important, much more a fundamental part of the way we do business, as we're hearing throughout the conference, as we move towards that, it's important to consolidate things, come up with common vocabularies, common systems, common taxonomy, all those good things, learn from Pam this week. So we get there and drive that, and it's very difficult when you do it in an enterprise scale.
There's nothing in there, by the way.
So we do it as an enterprise level and really try and drive it and work across.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you have, or at least have had, a rather substantial footprint of these multi-function devices, and to be clear, these are those big monster machines where you could do copy, scan, print, and they're all over the organization, right?
Right. A few years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago, we went through, and probably like many other people have rolled it out, it was a printer initiative. Well, when we went to replace all the printers, they said, oh, let's roll in the copiers and the scanners and just deploy these MFP devices. So we deployed them across the company, and then everybody said, oh, guess what, it can scan. Let's go get the ECM guys to now make it work, or more appropriately, I would say, let's have the capture guys. It's just another capture device. Why can't I drop my thing in it and it shows up in the repository in the back end?
Yeah. Now, we kind of embarked on the how do we use these things more effectively, and then in comes a technology called iLinks Capture to maybe accommodate that distributed capture need. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Right, as we rolled in iLinks Capture, it helped fill that gap where people were kind of using the MFP devices without any real guidance or direction. So we started looking at how can we put direction and guidance on the usage. So once the documents get dropped in, where do they land? How do we get them in the repository? Who's the appropriate person to split them into the right pieces? So you drop the big giant blob of documents in there. Well, it's still got to be dropped in, or split into documents, indexed. Who's it belong to? And MFP is a not totally smart device in that if you just drop it in with no information, you didn't log in, you just scan on it, it just lands in this place. So that's where iLinks has helped us really bring it in, be able to give some sense of commonality and standardization to it.
I'm a consumer. I think some of our guests are consumers. And if we were to consider what banks to work with, obviously I would consider the banks that provide me the best service, what I want sooner versus later, et cetera, et cetera. How has some of that steered your organization towards possibly leveraging these things? What's the tie-in there?
Right. The tie-in there is really about providing better, faster service to the customer, to the client. So anybody wants an account at SunTrust, see me afterwards, and I'll hook you up. So once we get it all going...
Are you a salesman?
No.
I'm just checking. Go on.
But I think there's some kind of...
I got you.
Yeah. When we get... What it really allows us to do is when you look at what we've done in mortgage.
I'm a salesman.
Okay.
Go on.
And we roll it into the origination process and being able to shorten that time frame. Get stuff in, it's out in the field, it's at the point of origination, it's out in the branch, it's at, the office in the middle of Iowa. You drop it into the system, get it in right away so you can immediately begin that processing. And what we've seen is it helps us shorten the response time. So we're able to get back to that client very quickly with decisions as to what we do to move forward.
Are you in general receiving positive feedback from that user community? Where have you seen the greatest impact as of late?
The biggest impact is within the line of business. Because right now this doesn't face outside the firewall. It's all inside of SunTrust, so it's only our internal users utilizing. But when you look at the fact that now the processor sitting in this office out in the middle of wherever they're at can create the cover sheet. We have standardized with the cover sheet. Create that cover sheet, put it on top, drop it in the device, and have it in an underwriter's hand in a back office who may be in Orlando or Richmond or some other location very quickly. That's where we get the benefit. And then they're immediately driving this process. And as everybody knows, there's a lot of pressure on the banks to be fast, so we can get to that decision much quicker.
I like it. Everybody, let's give him a hand on that one. Faster is better. I like it. CVDI. That's yet another acronym I want to thank you for introducing to our industry.
You're welcome.
Tell me about it.
We like to come up with an acronyms. It's Capture and View Document Interchange. What we've really found is that when you start to integrate both the capture, and I know we're here talking about capture, but it really includes both the capture parts of how do we get everything in up front versus the view, how do you retrieve and get it back. And we really wanted to integrate that into a common interface. Wouldn't really call it a portal yet because this is the early stages of getting to there. But some of our applications are very diverse. Some can integrate very nicely and cleanly, some cannot. So we created this thing called CVDI, and it's a simple web call. And you send parameters inside the web call. And once the parameters get there, tell it's a capture function. It then invokes the capability for the user to either generate our standardized cover sheet, or a lot of documentation is now arriving electronic. I got a PDF in my email I need to upload and get into the system. We invoke our upload interface at that point as well, all driven by the same common interface, the same standardized cover sheet process, whether it's a physical one they print out to handle paper, or it's a virtualized one that comes with the upload process, but it's all the same. And at that point, we're able to assign a capture transaction ID. And so that when the clients start, or our clients or the internal bank employees start looking for my documents, where is it? Or they call in a help ticket, I put it in 3 days ago, I haven't seen it. We now have this common number everybody can use to start finding the information they put in, almost like a UPS or a FedEx tracking number.
Gotcha.
So we're losing things less that way.
So if I were to take a step back and look at everything that has been accomplished at the highest level, I see a standardization on your repository. And what was that technology you standardized on?
We standardized on iLinks Capture. CVDI is the front end, and it feeds into iLinks Capture. iLinks Capture brings it all in. It gets into iLinks Capture, and then we route it to the appropriate location on the back end.
And you have an alternative capture pipeline that you're using, but the idea, though, that iLinks is simply augmenting that is what I understand to be something of interest.
Correct. iLinks Capture is filling our whole distributed our remote capture components. We have a different path for production batch scanning for the larger volume stuff that comes in the back office.
So what's next for SunTrust?
Well, we're currently invoked on what is called the digital enterprise. We're looking at how do we drive things more and more towards digital, try and get more and more modern, more towards not using paper at all, trying to eliminate paper as early in the process as we can. Doesn't mean paper goes away, but it means we digitize it earlier in the process.
Very good, very good. Well, everybody, I want to give Wayne a big thank you. I thought this presentation was very nice. I appreciate you coming out here.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, so before we bring out our next guests, I want to celebrate a little bit because she's recently starred in a pretty substantial movie production. Her name is Linda Reese. So what we're going to have an opportunity to do here today is view this for the first time on the planet Earth. No one has ever seen this before. and then we'll bring her out and talk to her a little bit about it. So let's go ahead and cut to the clip.
ESCO Corporation manufactures parts that are considered to be expendable wear parts, and we manufacture them for the mining and construction industries. Customers would include Caterpillar, P&H, Bucyrus International, Komatsu.
This year we expect to process approximately about 120,000 invoices, which is 14.5% up from what we processed for 2010.
And so one of the objectives is paper creates an issue with storage, document and record retention.
One of our driving forces for going with ECM is, this is a prime example right here. We needed to go automated.
We are using Oracle EBS for our financials, manufacturing, all the applications including our HR and all. Yes, it's Oracle based applications. We are an Oracle shop here. Oracle ECM provides a complete integrated solution for scanning document solutions. We thought the integration will be seamless and installation and maintenance of Oracle ECM will be easier.
So we've cut our force almost in half. And we're still able to keep up with it, even with the increase, and function very smoothly. Not having to replace individuals, and that's always a big ROI. The extraction off the invoices is the company name, the invoice number, the invoice date, the dollar amount, the purchase order number, and whatever merchandise material we have on that. And then that feeds that all through the system and into Oracle, into the payables operating room.
So we have a system where it actually looks for that data, and when it recognizes that data, and depending on how it's set up, it can just fly right on through into the system. And if everything matches up between the purchase order that's in our system and the invoice, it's good to go.
Approximately about 70% of them are going straight through. And that still is a good advantage of having to not manually enter that invoice.
Seamless integration means less errors and less interruptions. It's a cutting-edge technology, what we like most with the image source team. Troubleshooting skills really saved us a lot of time in all through the implementation.
In working with both Oracle and with Image Source shows us that there is much, much more that we can do with enterprise content management.
Good, very good. And with that, Linda Reese with ESCO Corporation.
Hi, everybody.
Linda, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a seat. So life must have seriously changed for you since this production.
It has dramatically changed.
Can you even go to the supermarket anymore?
I don't have too much trouble at the supermarket. The gas station, on the other hand, constantly asking for my signature. But my best one is a phone call from Madonna. She wanted to know how I stayed so young.
All real. All real.
Absolute.
Make sure you sign an autograph for me before we get going, okay?
It'll only cost you $5.
Got it, got
Okay.
it. We'll work on that. So after you do your song, and here's the mic, I want to go into some conversation and kind of talk a little bit about your business processes and all of that good stuff. So with that, I wanted to go ahead.
I have to do it for myself?
Give that to you.
Okay,
Fire
thank
away.
you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to me.
Very good, Linda. Very good. She's not shy.
Yep.
I'm just saying. But Linda, your organization has embarked on a pretty interesting journey with invoice processing. That's your realm. What is your position title?
I am Accounts Payable Manager for Shared Services for all of North America.
That's pretty substantial.
It's 19 different sites throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Very good. And the challenge, as I understand it, with invoice processing and trying to create automation is you do business with many, many, many different vendors. They all have a different look and feel of these invoices. How do you create a system that's going to know how and where to capture the data? How do you create a system that's going to process it correctly? It's pretty tricky, right?
It is. And luckily, ImageSource showed us how.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's very good. Now, when you first embarked on this voyage, why don't you talk a little bit about the process? Give us an idea of what it looked like prior to incorporating the automation.
Well, prior, like I said, this year we contemplate processing at least 120,000 invoices, and that's only for one of our groups. And it was all done manually prior. Our mail would come in, it would be color-coded because we had to keep the legal sites separate from one another, and our method at that time was to color code everything, and that's how we could, handle all these invoices and make sure that they get to the correct AP specialist for entry. And they were filed separately with the file cabinets, as you saw in the video. You saw colored tags on the file cabinets, and that correlated with what the color of the highlight was on the invoice, and that's how it worked.
That's how it works. And you ultimately decided to go with a particular platform.
Yes.
And why don't you spend a couple of minutes talking about how you got to that point and what is that platform?
Well, what our goal, let me go with this, what our goal is not just the fact that, the less errors, and that a lot of our goal too is because of the fact that we have such a large volume. And 1 year of filing of invoices for, like IRS, we have to keep them for 7 years. We would fill 110 banker boxes for 1 year from all of our different sites. And I look at that and I'm looking at a forest. I'm looking at a tree, all this paper that's being processed. And with now, we have the electronic image in the system that not only we can look at it, eventually we're not quite to the point yet, but we can look at that image. Our purchasing department, if they have a question, they can look at that image. HR, if they have certain people in HR, if they want to see a certain billing, like any legal billing or whatever, then they have that image, they will have that image right there. So therefore it cuts down on my having to have a person that has to go dig that out, either fax it to them or scan it to them, and there's a lot of cut down.
Mm-hmm. And results. It's
results, and it's constant. We're still, like I said, we're still working at it. There's still some things that have not quite come together, but it's getting there.
14% growth?
Yes, we have.
So more invoice volume.
Yes.
Business is good.
Yes.
But highly competitive economy.
Yes.
We have to be very efficient. How do you handle that challenge of volume growing but maintaining a static cost so that doesn't inflate as well? How do we do that?
Because I have good people.
I
have a good team.
That's a good thing.
And my team has stepped up, and then with the electronic imaging, it cuts back on a lot of time.
80% of the PO-based invoices?
75 to 80% of the PO invoices are going through the system now.
Without any human intervention?
Without a human intervention.
That's incredible.
And there are some of the issues that we have are issues that need to be ironed out between our purchasing department and the supplier. And so that is one thing that's being worked on right now.
There's a lot of organizations out there that, will go to a trade show, see the slogans, we'll automate, we'll make it all go away. What has been your personal experience about the results, about how much automation you have actually been able to achieve? What could you tell us about that?
Well,
is it real?
It's real. But I can't go to trade shows anymore.
You can't.
No, I can't.
Unless
I'm
you're in talk
recognized.
shows.
So I can't go.
The paparazzi is giving you a
Yes,
hard time. I got
absolute.
it. I got it.
I have to be very careful, you know. What was the question?
Yeah, we'll go. This is real, folks. This is really happening. 80% automation. Oh, 75 to 80% is what you said.
75 to 80%
Yes.
of the invoices go through clean.
Without human intervention.
Without us intervening. Sometimes we'll have to tweak it because, you know, we call ourselves a kind of a complex company, and we are in the sense because we're working with, you know, different legal entities, you know, connected with our GL codes and with purchase orders that are each structured to designate which one of those 19 sites they're coming from. And it can be, it's a challenge.
It's been a great success, it sounds.
Yes, it is.
And from floor to ceiling, you've embraced this technology. This technology was Oracle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we are complete Oracle. In fact, we're in 19, actually 20 countries throughout the world now. And each one of them, except for, we have one exception, that they are all on Oracle.
Very exciting stuff. Now, what's on the horizon? What's next for ESCO?
The next on the horizon when it comes to accounts payable is we have our other operating units and other sites that we want to put onto this same system. And eventually we would like to have it global and have it go to all of our Australia and all of China, well, not China, but
why not? Why stop
because
there?
It's a little different.
Got it.
You know, and then in Europe.
Is that because of the characters?
Well,
characters?
no, it's not really the characters. No? It's because of their structure themselves. Their governmental structure.
Interesting.
Yeah. We eventually want them all. And then eventually, you know, our human resource department is looking at it. You know, we've talked about it purchasing. You know, it's just, and I'll be the leader of the pack.
There it is.
Yes.
So we are looking at 75 to 80% automation improvement.
Yes.
We had about 14.5% growth in volume, and yet a reduction in cost.
Yes.
And that's quite remarkable. Floor to ceiling, we have Oracle as the solution of choice, and it's working out really well for you, and a vision to expand internationally. That's amazing. I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Everybody, let's give Linda a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right. Movie star in my presence. I like it. Our next guest for today, it is none other than our representative from Exotic Metals. Let's bring Tim out here. Tim, come on out here. Glad you could make it, Tim. Make yourself comfortable. So, Tim, I'd like to kind of start off with the introductions, and after your song is done, I'd like to go into...
You'll thank me right now not to sing.
Okay, we'll cut you some slack. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about your role, title within the organization. Where do you come in?
I'm the Information Technology Manager at Exotic Metals, and I'm responsible for just about anything with a outlet plug on the end of it.
Yeah. Very good. Exotic Metals. So if I wanted a what, do I go to you guys?
Aerospace parts.
Oh,
so
that's
aerospace
very
and
cool.
defense.
Very cool. Interesting. So your organization had a legacy platform that was no longer being supported by the manufacturer, and you went shopping looking for some options.
Right. Our existing legacy ECM platform was really a mixture of a number of products that were upgraded at different intervals over time. And it served well for us to get well down the road in ECM on that platform. We finally just effectively ran out of gas from a performance and a scalability and licensing standpoint, so it came time to go shopping.
And that's not uncommon. It happens to a lot of organizations, but you did in fact go shopping and you looked at a number of options and you stumble on iLink's content store. And iLink's content store, as I understand it, touches quite a few areas within your organization. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We've made a very intentional effort over many years to expand the footprint of our ERP system throughout our enterprise. And our ECM implementation really shadowed that. So wherever we were able to implement new features of ERP, we also integrated content with that. So our content management system is really integrated from the moment we get an order till all the way through to production and shipping.
So was it easily embraced? Was it an easy transition when contrasted to what you had? Were there growing pains? I mean, what was that experience like for you guys?
We're actually still in that process now, but early feedback is that iLinks is an easier platform to use, better performing, and it's got quite a bit of flexibility, a lot of levers and dials that allow us to really tailor how we're using that content integrated to our ERP.
In your assessment, I'm going to ask you, I mean, what makes it easier? How does it differ from maybe what you've historically done?
So, a good example of that is setting up some of our search capability. And, it's through some of that flexibility, we're able to open up just a much wider search for some of our users to look over content that they used to not have access to. So, really just search is one area that's really expanded quite a bit for us.
And you said the performance is improved?
Significantly. At the time we commit or post through Capture and into the content store, we're seeing early feedback that process is significantly faster.
These are pretty significant changes to an organization, and as I understand it, and I made some notes here, this is presently being leveraged within the sales and order processing part of the business, the manufacturing part of the business, accounts payable, et cetera. I mean, that's a big spread of touch points. It's impressive to visualize how all of these departments across the board can tap into a repository, access this information, and it be one platform, because how many times do we go out into the businesses and see all of these siloed technologies? And it's been working out really well for you.
Exactly, and right from the moment we actually accept a customer purchase order, we introduce that to the content store. It's really a body of knowledge that everyone in the organization needs to draw from, quality and production and engineering. So making that visible to and integrated to our ERP has really been the differentiator.
Was there a collaboration in this assessment when you were figuring out what you wanted to do? Did you invite these other business units to participate in the due diligence and the evaluations and what have you?
Absolutely, yeah. They all have a stake in it, and they rely daily on the performance and stability and accessibility of that content. So it was not difficult to invite everyone to the dance, to the evaluation.
So what you're saying is it's possible for one organization, one department to be happy, and then the other ones to be happy too with the same selection of technology?
It's happened.
Wow, that's amazing. But you understand my point, right? I mean, that people have historically made these decisions in silos because this is what's good for me, and then the other person, this is what's good for me. And here we have a global selection, one choice, and as a result, look at the results. On the deployment, what was that experience like?
So as I said, we're still in the process of that conversion and deployment.
Because you're touching all of these business units. I mean, that must have been a pretty massive undertaking.
Absolutely. So the good news is we have a great blueprint and a great project plan to manage that process of rolling out across. It's really 25 different applications that we're managing through that migration. And so it's been a very careful walk through that.
So you've had a pretty steady dose of the Image Source Professional Services Group.
I have.
And what's that experience been like?
Well, I'll have to admit, when John Linehan showed up in a clown suit riding a unicycle, I was a little concerned.
Making a note on that one, underlining.
But in all reality, I can't say enough about the Professional Services Group. I've been through a number of large-scale, multi-plant implementations of ERP and shop floor and other systems. And the real difference is the quality of the plan and the ability to execute that plan. Yeah. And it's been good on both accounts.
Yeah. Were you, as a member of this team, evaluating and facilitating the due diligence, were you the visionary on this, or did somebody else have the idea?
Well, we have a...
Be honest.
We have a smart group. I can't take credit for driving the bus on that, especially around the migration and the results.
You don't seem to have any problem taking the credit for the success. I'm just saying.
I share the load.
No, I'm kidding. Giving you a hard time.
No, it's good. Our users have really stepped up to own their piece of it.
Yeah.
That just makes it a lot easier to move together as a group.
Well, I guess the punchline here is it is a very successful story. The deployments are not a simple task. You've worked with a good organization, a good team that's put this together for you. You feel comfortable about that.
Absolutely.
What's on the horizon? What's next?
So we'll continue to expand the footprint of our, again, I keep going back to the integration of our ERP and our content. So there are certainly some, we're a business process focused organization. So as we tackle and automate more business processes, we're seeing that implementing applications for content store in conjunction with that is really the right answer. Yeah. So there are some processes we have yet to tackle. We'll just continue in the same fashion we've been rolling it out.
Okay, so let's get back to that song we were talking about.
Yeah, again.
Not going to happen?
Not going to happen.
I thought I'd try one last time. Everybody, let's give him a round of applause. Tim takes it off. All right. Did everybody have a good time? That was fun. That was fun, right? We have a pretty important piece of this segment, and we have some special awards to give out to some key organizations that we felt were pretty significant in some of their decision-making processes and the direction they took their investments. So with that, I'd like to invite out to the stage Mr. Terry Sutherland and Terry Butler.
Thank you, Ed. Great job.
All right, thank you. So, Customer Partner Awards 2011. I'd like to start off with the first one, and this is for the best use of complementary technology. It is not uncommon at all for organizations to have a wide assortment of technology bases. And how do we make these things play together? What can we add to those systems to make them more improved, bring greater efficiencies within the organizations? So with that, we have the award for the best use of complementary technology. Terry?
Oh, and the award goes to... I can't wait to see. U.S. Bank.
Very good.
Right. Where's U.S. Bank?
Accepting the award for U.S. Bank is Dean Dindorf, U.S. Bank Content Workflow Services. U.S. Bank has used the integration capabilities of iLink's Capture to implement capture solutions that leverage the bank's investment in line of business applications. The internet connectivity between the line of business applications and the iLink's Capture has created production efficiencies, process standardizations, and consistent quality specific to the capture of content. U.S. Bank has demonstrated ingenuity with the integration of these systems, and it's paying off.
This next award is quite special. It's an organization that has taken the technology that's available to us out there, but came up with a very creative way of leveraging more efficiencies within the organization. And as a result, we are awarding the most innovative solution, and that award is... Terry?
I'm dying to see this. I am dying to see this. And the winner is ESCO Corporation.
Very dramatic. Accepting the award for ESCO Corporation is Linda Reese, Shared Services Accounts Payable Manager. ESCO Corporation, a global manufacturer, has long embraced a culture of being a forerunner in production and business technology. ESCO strategically selected Oracle ECM 11G to integrate with the existing Oracle Enterprise Business Suite for a seamless platform, starting with a solution in accounts payable. Nearly 80% of all ESCO's invoices will be processed without human intervention, allowing more invoices to be processed utilizing only half the number of AP processing staff.
Very good. Very good. So this one is pretty interesting. It takes a lot of review, analysis, and collaboration amongst business units to create the greatest opportunity for a return on these investments. This award is the biggest return on investment award, which is pretty exciting to talk about. And that award, Terry?
And the winner is... I love to see this first. Miracosta College.
Very good.
All right.
Accepting the award on behalf of Miracosta College is John Spatana, Image Source VP of iLink's ECM Sales. Miracosta Community College has experienced multiple returns on their investment since transitioning from a dated scan, store, and retrieve technology to an all iLinks platform, utilizing iLink's Export, iLink's Capture, and iLink's Content Store. Initially saving an estimated $150,000 with their platform choice, they have also seen yields in their form of efficiencies, improved customer service, and user adoption with minimal training.
This next award and final award for the afternoon, is our ECM Ecosystem Award. It's a new award that we're providing, and Terry, if you want to talk a little bit more about that special.
Yeah, I would. I just want to spend 2 minutes talking about this institution. The whole concept of Nexus this year is all about the enterprise content management solutions and how they're being built. And we all know the challenges of being able to get everybody together and come to a decision as to how you're going to use it across the enterprise. The amazing thing about this is it was a university that came up with the idea of getting business units together. They herded the cats, as it were, and said, hey, we don't want a point solution. We want a total solution for the entire campus. They have succeeded in this, and the winner is San Jose State University.
Accepting the award for San Jose State University is Colette Horner, Information Technology Consultant. San Jose State University has developed a comprehensive vision for enterprise content management by implementing technology institution-wide that provides efficiencies and cost savings. By investing in a common platform and effectively planning for an enterprise deployment, benefits and information are being shared by accounts payable, purchasing, enrollment services, the Registrar's Office, and the College of Education, the College of Business, College of Engineering, and Human Resources.
You're so efficient.
Terry and Terry, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.
Very
Thank you, Ed.
good. Everyone, round of applause for everybody. So that concludes our ECM portion of the show. Remember, we do have the review opportunity to score the session. How informative was it for you? Also, I want to remind everybody that we have a great event tonight. I am definitely going to be there. I am ready for that first drink, personally. I hope to see you all there having a good time. I will be more than happy to school every one of you guys on the bowling lanes. I take great pride in my form, the spin. I got it all down and wired. But again, I wanted to emphasize this. Thank you very much for coming out here. I had a good time personally. I hope you did as well, and hope to see you again next year.